And I think like Matt and I are very like controlling and OCD about everything. I think that's the key to our success. It's like, you don't get an email staying out of office. Mm-hmm. Like I get those emails and I'm like, wait, like we work with a lot of companies that use us as their delivery service.
Right.
And it's like, we end up managing those companies, but that's what we're good at. And
but it's not sustainable. Don't you think? Like as you grow, I mean, you've seen the difference between one city and 4.
I mean, we have other team members, that work with us, of course. We've grown, back office, definitely for sure. But it's sustainable if you believe in your business model. And
but you have to believe in your people, right? So you said you have teams, right?
A
team.
As hard as Matt and I are on each other, like we've seen the logistics of other companies. It doesn't amount to us. I mean, you got to call. Where is it? You know what I mean? Like us, it's just like, it's not done. We'll get it there now.
Right.
If it's wrong, we're going to take care of the bill for you. I mean, there's just a level of customer satisfaction. But again, going back to your business model is there's clients we pick and choose now. I don't want certain clients.
Right.
I want to be able to give my clients the same service I gave them 5 years ago when we were a little bit smaller and smaller. And before that, that's what's important, because that's what really makes them want to do business with you, is that they don't have to worry about anything, right? They know that the deliveries are coming on a, daily basis. They know things are going to be done. You have that peace of mind, especially for a lot of offices. I mean, that's like, we do a lot of business with offices, and, a lot of the office administrative assistants or executive assistants are very busy. They don't have time to deal with this. This is just a component.
So you guys seem to have incorporated, not incorporated, because obviously I think this in general is very wellness focused, just as a concept.
It's very wellness focused, yeah.
You also have, it seems that you have another component of the brand, which is fitness. Like you just mentioned, you just did an event with Dr. Oz, and it seemed like it was is that something that was part of the whole concept from the beginning? Or is this something that, as I know that you mentioned that you were healthy and you were fit and all of that, but as part of Manhattan Milk, is this a new component to your brand?
No, I just think it's always been a component to our brand. I mean, like to the day when Matt and I were just, delivering, and, we had in the summer, we had a tank top on, you know what I mean? Like, like it was always, yeah. I mean, we were always, people would be like, oh, damn, but
if you do say so yourself,
I mean, now that like, social media is such a big thing, you're able to see it and understand it. I think there's no question whatsoever that like health, fitness should be part of food. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, they go hand in hand.
Agreed.
And I think a lot of people, like a lot of food people don't do that. They don't market that because they can't, because it's tough.
Right.
It's tough to go to the gym every day and decompress and lift heavy and do it naturally and get older and sustain a diet. I mean, that's not easy.
Is there a version of, health and wellness to me, it's not a California thing. I think it's just in general, like, right. It's food, it's fitness, it's meditative. It's like learning how to, for me, this is the struggle I have. Like I do the fitness, I do the food, turning off the monkey brain, learning how to like tap out of the crazy. And it's a little bit about where I was going with your teams, right? Like as you grow, you need teams, but not just teams that you can depend on so that you can pull back a little bit so that you personally can not just focus on your milk and on your lifting weights, but on like how to keep yourself sane as well.
That's why, I mean, our team is number one. I love everyone on our team. Amazing people. Like every day, 6:00, I'm in the gym, and, every day. And it's, as you get older, it's more mental than anything. But it's, you go down and I get on the treadmill, I do my mile or whatever, run, And the way I feel, I put the music on is not how I know I'm going to feel so much better. I turn off. I'm glad I'm like in the basement where my phone doesn't ring, nothing happens. I disconnect. It's super important for me because I know afterwards how I'm going to feel amazing. But fitness has always been a cornerstone. I think it's just a balance in life. You know, I just turned 40. I can't believe I'm 40 now.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And, you know, like, but I think like you can stay young and I think there's a lot of cornerstones to what I've been doing throughout my life that I think I look younger than a lot of 40-year-olds, you know? I don't really have any gray hair. I have a ton of hair. I think, you know, there's genetics, of course, but I think also it has to do with a lot of, you know, how you treat your body.
Right.
Stress is a big, bad thing. Like cortisol is terrible. So, you know, weight training is super important to me. I do all the other stuff. I have a trainer, you know, for Muay Thai, you know, Soul Cycle. I do yoga. I mean, you know, I do all kinds of stuff. You know, I think it's just my mind body connection. And I think the intermittent fasting too has just been, that's what's important to me.
Can we dive into intermittent fasting?
Yeah.
Because I've been curious about this, and you know, it's like, it's anything new. You dive into Google and then you can just get all turned around because like, who knows what's true and what's not. Here's how I started, just based on somebody's recommendation. I started eating, I think I was doing 16 hours. And what's 16 minus, or it's 24 minus 16? 8?
Yeah, 8. 16 hours. Yeah.
And I felt like, great. I felt great. I didn't feel any extra clarity. I didn't feel like it was hard at all. Like I thought, well, maybe this is.
How long did you do it for though?
I mean, I probably did it for a couple of weeks, and then I thought I'm either not doing it right. Mm-hmm. It feels like it should be harder. It feels like I should be having, and so I don't know if it's that maybe I should have just jumped to, you know, a harder version of that. But then I hear like, okay, do it like this for a week, but take 2 days and do it like 20 and 4, or do a full day fast. I don't fucking know what to do. Like, just tell me what to do.
I think honestly, like I always looked at it as being bad because as a guy to keep muscle on, you want to eat first thing when you wake up, you want protein, you want carbs, and a lot of bodybuilders do all that. So I know that like at the end of the day, like I'm losing muscle because my body's eating muscle. But at the end of the day, it's for my digestive tract to be clearer and for my mind to be more focused it outweighs that. So I do 8 hours eating and 16 hours off. So it's basically like 12 to 8 I'll eat and then off from there until 12 the next day. So in between, like I'm making sure I'm getting like every hour and a half, I'm eating protein, I'm eating fats, like, you know, like 30 to 40 grams of protein. I'm having my fats like avocado. I'm having 30 to 40 grams of carbohydrates, at least in that time span. So my brain works.
7 days a week?
I'd be lying to you if I said I did it on the weekends. I probably eat more on the weekends, you know, like in the mornings and stuff. But during the week, it's amazing because I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel like not motivated. And
I mean, those are the two big reasons why I want to try it: the digestive component and the mental clarity.
But I think you need to really, you know, you make sure that exercise is part of that as well.
Right.
It's super important. I mean, exercise is just, you can't beat it. And if it was easy, everyone would do it, but it's, I don't understand why.
It didn't feel that hard to me. Like, maybe I should try it again and just go for longer.
Yeah. I mean, but you also don't want to get to the point where you're not eating.
No, it was fine. So I'm definitely a breakfast person. So I would go from 9 to 5 basically, or, and it was not a problem for it. Like, that wasn't hard for me. Eating fairly healthy during the day. I wasn't like the hours that I was eating all the garbage. But I gave up after a couple of weeks because I was like, I feel like I should be feeling something, and I wasn't.
What you want to do is
just being lazy.
You kind of have to, like, a lot of people have their diet worked out in between those 8 hours of what macros they're going to eat, what proteins they're going to eat, all that stuff, right? And what's also important is, you know, getting your metabolism running too,
Right.
and which comes from food. I think a lot of people just eat once a day and they're like, well, what's going on? That's super bad for you, because then your body holds on to it. Right. It's like, because it doesn't know when it's going to eat again. You want to be able to eat constantly and your body just metabolizes it. And I think once you get your diet centered in that 8 hours, then you'll start to feel it more. But usually they say do it truthfully for 30 days straight. And then you'll start feeling a lot.
All right. I'm putting that, you're my accountability partner. Okay? I want you checking in with me every week.
Make sure you stay hydrated though too. And they also say that milk is,
here we go. Bring it right back around.
Milk is actually more hydrating than water.
Water. Really?
Because of sodium and sugar in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it count if I drink chocolate milk? I mean, I do love the taste.
I think chocolate milk's great, but our chocolate milk's amazing, but it's all natural.
Right.
A lot of those chocolate milks are not all natural. There's a list of things underneath them, but
okay. Here's your chance to lift up another brand, because this is what I believe in. I think that we lift each other up and not compete, community over competition, right? I can't get Manhattan milk in Sonoma.
Right. Eventually, maybe.
Okay. Right. So give me one that you're going to recommend. And what's out there in Sonoma County, right? We've got
Clover.
Strauss and Clover. Strauss is glass bottle.
Yeah, Strauss.
With the cream.
Yeah, I think Strauss and Clover are probably decent. Yeah.
All right. Until you're there.
Yeah.
You're in San Francisco, just not.
Yeah, we're in San Fran. Yeah.
San Fran. Okay, so.
And LA.
We have been talking about Manhattan milk, which is great. We've been talking about business, all the brand. You, just based on my very limited exposure to you, are a very busy human.
Yes.
And very hard to get hold of.
Mm.
Is there a personal life? And you can dive deep or not, but is there anything that you do besides work and to go to the gym? And hang out with your father, who's adorable, by the way.
Is there anything? I mean, really, no, I don't have much of a personal life, and I'm okay with that, because I think growing up in Detroit, there was, I always wanted to live in New York, regardless of my girlfriend. But freshman year in high school, or actually my dad and he would take me to the US Open. So, when I would come to New York, I would see it and I would be like, wow, this place is crazy. So when I was 10 and 11 and 12. So it was always a dream of mine to come from Detroit to New York, and never knew what I wanted to do. All of my friends were in college are all super smart doctors, lawyers, iBankers, all that stuff. And I was just kind of aloof, I was just in my own world. But I think obviously something happened, and, I'm more of a creative person than I am I don't know what the correct word would be, methodical, but, I just let things fall into place, and I love what I do, and I love thinking of new things. I love drawing up new concepts. I just that is life for me.
Are you the type of person who thinks you have an idea or a concept, or this is going to happen someday? I don't know what it's going to look like, but, and then are you the one who tries to drive the square peg into the round hole to make it happen? Or are you the one who's all right, 100%. It's going to happen. I'm just going to let it happen the way.
No, I believe in both, but I believe that an idea is only as good as if you just push forward through it. The new project that we're working on is tough, but it's amazing. It's going to be amazing, but it's tough when you're balancing 4 cities.
Right.
But I love it. I love, I don't know you, but we came together. You meet new people, just like you said, impacting the community, creating something that, gives people a reason to talk is so much cooler and fulfilling than going out.
This is the Frank I've been looking for the last hour.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah.
we're gonna do this again. At some point, I'm gonna dig more into the woo woo side of you.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't need to go out. I'm 40. I mean, I went out in my 20s. I had my fun, and I went to a Big Ten school, and I had my fun, and I just, 5 o'clock, it doesn't mean I shut down. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock doesn't mean I shut down. I don't need to be out and, drinking at bars. And I wonder about these people. I'm like, God,
how do they do it?
how do you do it?
I don't know.
Because I'm not closing my